Yeah, so in this video, I'm just going to talk about networking with the ultra high net worth. And I can only speak from, I guess there are two ways I can speak. I can speak from other people's experience who were close to, and I can speak from my personal experience. So for those who are breaking into capital raising and private equity and then they want to network with the ultra high net worth for the first time, there's just three core tenets that you need to keep in mind of if this is something that is new to you. And in one example, I guess ultra high net worth, the first principle that helped me out a lot was just to realize that that you have to remember that they're just human beings. The richest person I spoke to was, somebody in China that was worth a few $1 billion, and it was like I can't really speak about the details of it, but it was some cross-border thing we were working on. So just to understand that they're just human, and that they're not God or anything, that they're just human beings. And after that, and in between that, just networking with other investment bankers that we weren't really on the same quote unquote pay grade. I was just looking at them and just realizing that they're just human beings, and that they have a lot of flaws actually. And because they have a lot of flaws, what's funny is that a lot of their success is what creates some of their flaws. So just keep that in mind. Number one, that they're just human beings. Number two is to realize that sometimes there are really two ways to approach it, in my opinion. One way is when sometimes it takes extremely long to build relationships with the ultra high net worth. So for those who don't have a relationship with the ultra high net worth, just find somebody with a relationship with the ultra high net worth and let them do your bidding on your behalf. So this is the quickest way I've seen to network with the ultra high net worth, because, for example, just one of these examples with the deal maker I mentioned, the Chinese billionaire I was mentioning, and a few others, is just network with the ultra high net worth, not directly if it takes you extremely long, if you want to have a deep relation with them, but then just use somebody as a proxy to do it, right? And so that's one way. The second way is really just to really focus on giving them something that they absolutely need. In one of the prior videos, we're talking about people with mandates. If somebody's mandated to invest into something, they're looking for it, whether they like you or not. They would still only invest in people they like, most of them. But if somebody's looking for something, and if they have a specific problem that they say that they have, or there's something that they say that they're looking for, just give the ultra high net worth what they say that they're looking for. And then that's the quickest way to transact with them and to talk with them. But if an ultra high net worth doesn't really have a quote unquote mandate, or they're not looking for an investment, or they don't say what they're looking for, then you have to build a relationship with them the old fashioned way. And until you find out how to do it yourself, and if you know them or whatever, if you can't do that, just use somebody as a proxy to do that. And the quickest way to use somebody as a proxy to build a relationship with the ultra high net worth is to see what the mandate of the proxy to the ultra high net worth is. Because a lot of the time, the person who's a proxy to the ultra high net worth, and proxy just means somebody that sits in between yourself and the ultra high net worth, would be looking for ways to have mutually beneficial deals with them. Because a lot of the ultra high net worth, they don't put themselves out there. So that's the second way. And the third way is ultimately just understand systems and win-win games, and obviously compliance, right? Because if you're approaching an ultra high net worth, and if you look like you're approaching ultra high net worth, one is to make sure that you understand all the systems in place, including compliance. And if you reach out to them and you look to sell a deal to them, you have to make sure that you have to look at where the registrations are, whether it's an investment advisory firm, registered investment advisory firm, broker dealer, exempt market dealer, what have you. Just understand all these things before you just reach out to an ultra high net worth and sell them a deal. Because somebody, just because they don't like you, can report to the SEC, can report to the Securities Commission, or can do a whistleblowing event to you. And even if you do like them and then you do shake hands and they do invest, you can still get sued because you need to be compliant. Or if you just get somebody on an email list and blast them a deal, understand the pros and the cons of doing that. So all in all, it's pretty simple, man. It's pretty simple. Number one, make sure that you understand that they're just human beings. They're not magic, they're just human beings. Number 2, understand that you have to build real life, long-term relationships with them. And if you don't want to do that, use somebody as a proxy that already has that relationship with them, that has the mandates for a particular type of transaction, deal, and so on. Make sure that they actually have a mandate for something. So if they're actually looking to invest or looking to do something and they say it publicly, it's likely that you're going to be able to talk to them whether they know you or not. So this is just first principles logic here. Number 3, understand the systems in place. Understand that you just know the rules. Be careful as you pitch them deals. Make sure that they have a lot of legal protection. Make sure that you're doing it compliantly. You know that if you're talking to an accredited investor without the deal properly being registered, you can get sued. And when people Google you, they'll see this lawsuit as the first result. So just understand all these things in between. And overall, the way that they got rich isn't by, like a lot of them, the way that they got rich is either from somebody else or from them using their intellect. So they know what they're doing. They weren't born, a lot of them, they weren't born yesterday. You just give them the respect they need. They know that you're hanging around them potentially because of a beneficial event. Understand that you want to build win-win games where all parties benefit and everything's about mutual self-interest. Because a lot, especially in this high finance world, it's really hard to trust anyone. It's probably best if you don't. But if you look at mutual self-interest, you could potentially look at win-win games to build so that most people win in the long term. And if you put yourself in that position to help multiple people win, multiple parties get what they want, then you'll be able to find a way to compliantly pitch them the deals that they want. And so if this makes any sense, and what do? Well, we help people compliantly set up and raise capital, equity or debt. That's what Raise.com is. And if you're watching on YouTube, just be sure to subscribe and like if you want to see more. And we'll see you in the next video.